So those of you who are not, um, you didn't watch television today, or you didn't get on YouTube today, guys, we're talking about that Nolan Wells case. The whole thing in a nutshell. Ben Crump was all over television, was all over YouTube. We was talking about the current autopsy results. And the whole thing in a nutshell. I really didn't like how it was presented. I didn't think that Ben Crump did a damn good job, but what I am saying in a nutshell, he is not a physician. He shouldn't have been the one that presented that stuff to the public. It should have been the doctor who did the autopsy on Nolan Wells. Now, the main reason why there was another autopsy that was done, because the previous autopsy, which was done in Mississippi, that coroner has a very shady past, and right now they're investigating her, and she has a history of misdiagnosing situations, especially when it came to people of color. So I didn't like how the doctor wasn't there, and you have Ben Crump presenting medical stuff to us, guys. He is not a damn doctor. I didn't think that was appropriate, guys. I'm a registered nurse. Those of you who don't know, I work in the intensive care unit, and I'm not saying he was off in anything that he said. He was just reading off what the coroner had said, but the whole thing in a nutshell, I didn't think that it was his job. I think that it would have been some more in-depth questions that would have been answered if, medically speaking, if the doctor would have been there. So why he wasn't there, guys, this is a big case. Why the hell he wasn't there was like really bewildering to me. I just don't understand it to save my life. Guys, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And guys, my contact information is there, my Venmo and my Cash App. And guys, I will be opening up the phone lines a little bit later if you want to get on here. And there's the number, guys, 682-812-9713. Anyway, I'm not going to stick on this for a very long time because it was all on the internet. And like I said, I didn't like how he was the one who was presenting the findings. So evidently this autopsy has been completed by, Dr. Roger Mitchell. Wells' parents actually flew his remains from Mississippi to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy amid pending results of post-mortem examination in their home state. Because, like I said, that coroner out there, she is shady, and evidently she's under investigation for a whole bunch of shit that she is misdiagnosed for people of color. Guys, she's done a lot of shady shit. So Dr. Roger Mitchell, Dr. Roger Mitchell is the president of the National Medical Association, carried out the autopsy for the life of me. I don't know why Dr. Roger Mitchell would not be here to present this. Okay. Guys, they have diagrams on the front of the back of Nolan's head. And basically, in a nutshell, they were saying in the back of his head, which is called the occipital area, it was some red discoloration in the soft tissue area. So I'm not really sure if they said, they're trying to allude to the fact maybe somebody hit him in the back of the head or whatever the case may be. Guys, who knows? Maybe he slipped and fell. I don't know. A lot of people slip and fall and hit the back of their head all day long. I'm not really sure. I don't know if somebody hit him or he slipped and fell or whatever the case may be. But as you can see, guys, they have a picture of his skull, and they're really concentrating on the back of Nolan's head, which is the occipital area. And they said it was red discoloration in the soft, and it was a bunch of like soft tissue going on down there. Now, back there. Now, guys, another thing, there were some nurses who actually got on YouTube, and they were saying that they kind of sort of found out through the grapevine that when Nolan's body was transported to the coroner's office, the first autopsy that he had, that he was transported face down. Guys, nobody does that shit. Nobody does that shit. Okay, I have been a nurse for 33 years, and the only weird shit I've ever seen concerning a dead body is that, and it was because of a religious thing, this family wanted me to put a whole fucking like fruit basket inside of the body bag. That shit was weird to me. It had to be a certain type of fruit, and the family bought it. And guys, we have to abide by what the family is wanting. Okay, I had another family that she had like 19 damn kids, and each of them whispering to me that they wanted a lock of her hair, but they didn't want the other family members to know about it. I said, shit, before you know it, this lady's going to be bald. She got about 19 damn kids. So after a while, I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this, because each child is taking a turn coming. And they were grown. The mother was in their 80s when she passed away. But I'm like, I did it for the first 4 people. Then after that, I'm like, oh, hold the fuck up. Yeah, here, take the scissors, because mama going to be bald by the time I get all of this lockets of hair that you guys want. So, guys, we have to respect the family's wishes. But I'm not about to sit up here and cut this lady bald. But the whole thing in a nutshell, guys, why are you transporting him? If this is true, why are you transporting him face down? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So let's go on to look at the report. It said the doctor discovered a 12/8 red discoloration on the back of Wells's head, according to the famed human rights attorney Ben Crump, who announced the results at the National Association of Advancement of Color People. We already know, guys, that's the NAACP headquarters in Chicago. The mark could indicate some head trauma. However, decomposition and the lack of associated injuries meant that this interpretation was inconclusive. The state that the report states. And somebody wrote, they need to get laws passed in all 50 states that would allow a family to have a second pathologist present at the time of the first autopsy, rather than doing a completely separate one. And that is a marvelous idea. And then somebody said, no disrespect, but if he was in the water for a day or two, that could explain the injury on his head. During strong riptides, your body can be banged up. And guys, that is true. Okay, let's just call a thing. That is true. But, during those tides, it seems like, I don't know, would he be hitting like the very back of his head? I don't know. Guys, this whole thing is weird. Not only was the matter of demise listed as undetermined pending investigation, but the date was also unknown. Among the other unanswered questions were the circumstances under which Wells entered the water, and if there was any water in his airway. So that was another thing that was discussed. Now, another thing that was very shocking, and guys, you heard people gasp. Evidently, guys. Okay, when you do an autopsy, guys, 9 times out of 10, and I have been present for one autopsy. I was, I shouldn't say lucky enough, because this is not something that you regularly do through nursing school, but I was able to see one autopsy, and because I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and I asked, could I go see one, and I saw one, and it was very interesting. But anyway, to make a long story short, evidently Nolan's, the bones to his throat were missing. It did not come with his body. It says biggest day, they're talking about the neck structures were missing, and they're talking about the frontal view. So when you hear some shit like this, 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna think, did somebody strangle him, or whatever the case may be. Why in the hell would you send over all the other body parts, but you would not send over the structures to the throat? Okay, that is very peculiar to me. Let's look down here and see what else they say. They says Dr. Mitchell could have determined whether Wells was intoxicated at the time of his demise, and whether he fatally drowned if he had access to the organs such as the stomach, the lungs. However, they were removed during the postpartum process. Wells' body also arrived without parts of his throat, limiting the doctor from determining whether or not there was an injury to his neck contributing to or caused by his passing. The practice of removing victims' organs and other structures, including tissues and muscles, is standard for forensic pathology practices. We have more questions than answers at this time. Crump, who specializes in wrongful demise lawful lawsuits. So anyway, guys, it's just really, really sad what happened to Nolan. And as I break down, guys, everybody was so damn shocked when he said that the muscles to the throat, not the muscles, but the structures to the throat were gone. It was like a gasp that went over the room.
Position and the absence of associated injuries. This finding, however, is significant enough to be highlighted in this preliminary report for further investigation. It is important to reiterate that the finding could not have been observed in the first autopsy because the posterior head and neck dissection were not performed. He said another limitation faced by this forensic pathologist was the absence of the anterior internal neck structures, the trachea and the laryngeal cartilage, the thyroid horn, and the hyoid bone.
See, I don't think that Ben Crump should have been saying this. It should have been the doctor.
Were not received with the body.
See? Not received with the body.
He's saying that the throat was not received with the body when he got Nolan Wells' body in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy.
Sad.
And so let's discuss that with what he said about that.
Why was that?
It is assumed that the initial pathologist retained these structures for additional evaluation. He said the retention of the anterior neck structures during an initial autopsy is a common forensic pathology practice. He was chief medical examiner for 7 years in Washington, D.C., and he said that if they had concern about throat or any fracture or compression of the throat, they too will hold them back. He doesn't know why they held the throat back, but he said the throat was not with the body of Nolan Wells when he received it in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. He said, nevertheless, a posterior neck dissection performed without review of the anterior neck structures is incomplete. Therefore, this pathologist cannot rule out injury to the neck as a contributor or a cause of death. He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said his autopsy is undetermined pending investigation.
Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn what swim class you done took. Black people can't swim. I don't care how many lessons that we take. It's still gonna look like drowning. It's gonna look like a drown. I don't give a damn. You know how to do the butterfly, the breaststroke, whatever the fuck you think you know how to do. It's still gonna look like drowning. Now, some of you gonna get on here, and some of you gonna say it is too early to make fun. It's too early. And I'm here to tell you, it ain't never too early to make fun. It ain't never too early to make fun. Nolan Wells' own damn mama sat up there and said her son wouldn't want us sitting around crying and getting dehydrated and shit because of what happened to Nolan. Now don't get it all twisted up. He would want us to find what the fuck happened to him. But he would want us sitting around pop this, that, and the third. Nolan Wells was a freaking baby, guys. He was a baby. This is the granny cam, guys. He was a baby. He was 18 years old. He was a big athlete out there in Ocean Springs. This is where he lived. Ocean Springs, Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, P-P-I, Mississippi. That's where him and his family resided. He graduated from Ocean Springs High School back in 2026. That was just last year. This boy was making moves. Okay, he attended Southwest Mississippi Community College, where he played wide receiver for the college football team. So, let's just call it out, guys. You know them white girls love them some dog meat out there on that football field. They love them, especially they think somebody going pro. They love them some dark meat. You already know it. Don't play it. Don't play it. And we not gonna get on here on no racial trip. We just call it the truth of thing. Okay, his parents, Christina, God bless her. She's Filipino and black. And Elmore, he's all the way black. He black. People sitting around here talking about they created a GoFundMe and they needed the money. Nothing further from the truth. They don't need your money. Christina is a nurse practitioner doing the damn thing. And Elmore does something with exotic cars. So they doing the damn thing. They don't need your GoFundMe. They don't need your damn GoFundMe. Evidently, July the 3rd, 2026, Nolan was at home spending what would it been his last days on Earth with his family. Nolan's family described him. He was very responsible young man, very compassionate young man, very friendly. And guys, they were very protective over their children. They had 6 damn kids. 6 of them. Some of y'all sitting up here spreading these crazy ass rumors saying that the daddy is not the father of all 6 kids. Shame the fuck on you. Shame on you. His mother said that Nolan was taught never to abandon the group that he has traveled with. Never to do it. His family said that it was unusual for him to separate voluntarily from a group without some type of communication. They said he'd like to get on that damn Snapchat or whatever the fuck that is. Snappy Chat. He'd like to get on there. And his mother found it very peculiar that he was a Snappy Chat. Whatever the case may be. Reports discussed that Nolan was preparing for an outing for the 4th of July weekend with a bunch of light-skinned people. And we already know, guys, when you with a bunch of light-skinned people, it's always a damn issue. And I ain't just talking about white people, guys. Sometimes black people that's light-skinned, they got some damn issues too. Believe me, I know. Anyway, he was preparing for a 4th of July outing with 3 white guys. And he was going to be the only black guy there. This is what's happening. And guys, we really don't know what happened hour by hour, minute by minute. But this is what he was prepared to do. He was going to go that particular night over a friend's house, spend the night. And then from that point forward, they were going to get up early in the morning, 4th of July weekend, to celebrate the 4th of July with his white friends. Guys, they were going to Horn Island. Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn what swim class you done took. Black people can't swim. I don't care how many lessons that we take. It's still going to look like drowning. It's going to look like a drown. I don't give a damn. You know how to do the butterfly, the breaststroke, whatever the fuck you think you know how to do. It's still going to look like drowning. They said Nolan was a great swimmer. However, he decided on the 4th of July weekend he going to hang out with his friends and celebrate the 4th. And they were going to go to Horn Island. Horn Island, guys. It's 11 miles long. There's only one way on and one way off. And you have to take a boat to that mofo. So here we are. 4th of July weekend. Nolan is preparing to go to Horn Island with his 3 white friends. There were some other people on the boat, but guys, as of right now, we don't know who the hell was on the boat. Anyway, to make a long story short, one of the boys on the boat, his name is Tristan Shepard. I guess his family don't know how to spell Tristan, but his name is Tristan Shepard. He was on the boat, and he is claiming that they had an argument on that boat. And everybody was starting to think that it was Nolan that was arguing, that it was Nolan who was saying, give me my freaking keys. Give me my freaking cell phone. Evidently, Tristan, or whatever the hell you want to call him, Tristan sat up there and said, no, that was not Nolan who was asking for his freaking phone back and his freaking keys. It was him. Evidently, this Tristan sat up there on social media and said that he was a good friend of Nolan's. But guess what the parents said? They said they never heard of this motherfucker. They said they never heard of Tristan, whatever the fuck his name is. They said they had never heard of him. Nolan's party, they took a private boat towards Horn Island. Horn Island, guys, is only 11 miles long. It's only one way home and one way off. And that is through a boat. Evidently, on that particular day, guys, there were over 200 people celebrating the 4th of July weekend on that particular island. And, guys, it was only a handful of blacks. So if anything had happened to Nolan on that damn island, wouldn't you think people would notice it? Wouldn't you think people would notice him having an argument with somebody? Wouldn't you think some people would notice him being left behind by his 3 white friends? But thus far, ain't nobody seen shit. There were numerous boats reportedly transporting groups of people to and from the island. Guys, come on now. It's 4th of July weekend. If you look at some of the still pictures that Nolan is in with his white friends, some of them are holding alcohol. So yeah, it was some alcohol involved. Guys. Let's don't fake the funk. It was some alcohol involved. Guys, this is the granny cam. Guys, the phone lines is open. 682-812-9713. So it was some alcohol involved. And we already know when there's some alcohol involved, there's going to be some arguments. And they said Nolan got the argument and he was asking for his freaking phone. And then Tristan later on got on social media and said that was his voice and not Nolan's. So since we're talking about this stupid ass boat, remember I told you guys there's only one way on and one way off the damn island. Evidently, guys, people have been producing some crazy ass damn maps. Some shit is confusing. Evidently, they are saying on July the 4th at 9:56 a.m. the boat left its local dock. The original dock. Guys, I don't know shit about boating, but I know the original dock is the original dock that you left from. Somebody keep saying original dock. Every place they go, they call it damn original dock. Something wrong with you. You're on the slow bus. If you ain't on the slow bus, you need to be. Anyway, at 9:56 a.m., the boat left its local dock with Nolan and the white boys on there and some other people. And then at 11:14 a.m., the boat arrived at Horn Island. At 4:31 p.m., the boat left Horn Island. And evidently, guys, they're trying to make us believe that they really hadn't seen Nolan till roughly about 3 p.m. The whole thing in a nutshell, they're trying to tell us, these white boys, the light-skinned boys, they're going to try to tell us that Nolan met Katie. And they trying to allude to the fact that he stayed behind voluntarily to spend some time with Katie. And Katie, on the other hand, she's sitting around here saying, nope, I didn't spend no time with him. We just said hi and bye, and he told me he was getting on the boat with the boys. So somebody lied up in this camp. So anyway, roughly about 4:31, the boat left Horn Island, and they said Nolan Wells wasn't on that boat, didn't have no cell phone and no car keys, because he said the boys wouldn't give his shit back. So if the boys wouldn't give him his shit back, why would he stay behind? He ain't had no way to communicate. He ain't even had no way to get Katie's goddamn telephone number. Okay? Why would he stay behind without his damn cell phone and the damn car keys? That makes no sense. Around 5:52 p.m., the boat traveled into Fort Bayou. At 6:06 p.m., the boat returned to its original dock. I can't stand when they say original dock, because when they say original dock, to me, that is meaning the very dock that they left from, but that is not what they're saying. Evidently, this boat came and left, came and left, came and left. We don't know what the fuck was going on the boat. So evidently, at 7:19 p.m., the boat went to Fort Bayou, and then it was launched. Evidently, at that final dock, guys, it had to be towed to the owner's home, the person that owned the damn boat in the first place. And they are saying that it was a great possibility that one of Nolan's friends by the name of Wyatt's family owned the boat. See, if you look at the damn map, guys, I ain't gonna put the map up because it's confusing like a motherfucker. But if you look at the damn map, it gets confusing. It gets very confusing because he keeps saying original dock. Original dock is the dock that your ass left from, in my damn opinion. That's what original dock means. So, CBS has put out these times, and they're saying at 9:56 a.m., the boat left its local dock. At 11:14 a.m., the boat arrived at Horn Island, evidently between 11:14 and 4:31. This is when they were on the island enjoying themselves, but people are trying to make us think that they had not seen Nolan since around 3 o'clock. And then when the boat left at 4:31, they said Nolan was not on the freaking boat. And guess what? He didn't have his car keys. And he didn't have his cell phone. And that is a savage they're trying to get us to eat. That is the savage they're trying to get us to eat. Why would a young boy, 18 years old, not only leave his car keys with his friends, but leave his motherfucking cell phone? That shit is weird.
More on the mysterious death of Nolan Wells. We're joined by his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley, as well as their attorney, Ben Crump. And before we get started, first off, I want to thank you for being here under these circumstances. You know how extremely tough it must be. And we can express how sorry we are for you and your family.
Devastating.
First question, how are you two holding up?
Taking it second by second.
Day by day.
Second by second and day by day, which we all can understand. And I just want to ask you, the friends that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they say that he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
Exactly.
That we cannot answer. I can't fathom why he would.
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Mm-hmm. Even when he was in college, he would say, Dad, well, we're going to ride down to a party or something in another city. Now, so I was telling him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5.
There you go.
Separate from the group. Because I always said safety is in numbers. Mm-hmm. And
now, let me put something on your heart. I could kind of see Nolan staying behind if he thought he will get some pootie tang. If he thought he was going to get some pootie tang from Katie, I can see him staying behind. But staying behind without his damn cell phone? Without his damn car keys? No. But according to Katie's monkey behind, according to Katie said it was just a high and by encounter with her and Nolan Wells, and that Nolan said he was going to take his monkey behind back on the boat with the boys.
He always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
So that would have been unusual for him to split from the group. Yeah. And you said he would always check in with you. Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat. And usually when he is out there, which it's not uncommon, he's, I think, since last year, he's been going there occasionally with his friends. And so it would all.
Why in the hell would he go out there with those friends this time? And the reason is because he had been out there with their asses before. Something changed. And Granny done said it's before. I believe the white boys was sitting up there and they was upset at Nolan because Katie looked like she was liking Nolan. I was thinking it was a jealousy thing. Okay, the other times they was cool in the gang because probably nothing like this had ever happened. But it looked like, allegedly, that Katie might was liking Nolan. And I'm believing those boys got jealous. This wasn't Nolan's first time out there. This wasn't his first time. He had been out there with them boys before. But the thing that changed this time is that Katie was showing Nolan some attention. And I believe they got jealous.
Always just be like, hey, Mom, I'm back type of thing. But this time there was no call or text from him. It was from his friend.
And then too, really didn't worry a lot about it because, it was his last weekend to have fun.
Yeah.
Because that Monday he had to report to school. We was preparing to take him back for camp to prepare for the season. So, we're gonna see. He wanted to have his last little hurrah before he locked down and get ready for the season. Because, like I said, the entire summer he's training. He got more serious. He started to understand what I was trying to tell him about.
The boy had a lot to live for. Why would he stay behind on a damn island that was 11 miles long with nobody that didn't even look like him? True that. The family that was camping out there never said anything about them ever seeing Nolan out there, about him ever being left behind. This shit don't make no sense.
About football not just being fun, but as you get farther in it, it becomes a business. If you want to excel, and you have to understand both at the same time.
And we know, Ben, that you said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you say you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, they grew up together.
You know what I'm saying? The mama had a tracker on the motherfucking telephone. She had a tracker on Nolan's phone, and the boys probably didn't know that.
Played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to?
Why in the hell didn't he come back with you? Why didn't he? His phone is saying he's on land, and you sitting up here telling the parents that he did not come back with y'all. Talking about some weird shit. Deanna says she believes that Nolan was accidentally hit by a boat and probably knocked out and drowned. Seeing all those boats there, it could have been easily done, just in my opinion. Yeah, but why did the boys act like he just stayed behind? That's what I don't understand.
Get the phone.
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it, and that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman, and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?
There you go.
And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan,
True that.
who said, if you believe their story, I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to leave my phone. I mean, no
Makes
young
no
person
sense.
leaves their cell phone.
It makes no sense.
Here is what the GPS record shows. At 9:56 in the morning on July the 4th, the boat carrying Nolan and his friends left its dock, beginning a day that no one on board could have known would end the way it did. By 11:14, it had reached Horn Island.
So, Deanna, if you think that's what really happened, then what's going on with his throat? And why were the bones to his throat not taken to the second autopsy?
For several hours afterward, the group stayed together, celebrating the holiday the way so many others were doing that same afternoon along that same stretch of coast. At 4:31 that afternoon, according to data from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, the boat left Horn Island. Nolan was not on board. It returned to its original dock, and then, rather than staying there for the night, it kept moving. At 5:52 p.m., the boat traveled into Fort Bayou. By 6:06, it was back at the dock once again. Later that night at 7:19 p.m., the boat's tracked position shifted one more time to the Fort Bayou boat launch. From there, according to the Marine
Very interesting, Deanna.
Resources report, it was taken out of the water entirely and moved over land, presumably towed by a vehicle, to a residence in Biloxi, owned by the boat's owners. Sit with that sequence. 4 separate movements, recorded automatically after the moment Nolan was left behind. Not one simple boat trip home, but a series of stops across several hours.
Now, this is the thing. They said that boat was being moved. That's what they said. That's what they told Granny. The boat was being moved several times. And they say it's a great possibility. It's a great possibility that those boys was cleaning that boat. SD says, this is another race bait, friend. Because there might have been some blood in the boat. This is what they're trying to tell us. Let's check it out.
Ending on land more than 70 miles from where the day began. That sequence, tracked without any input from anyone connected to this case, is the exact window investigators are still working to fully explain, and the exact window Nolan's parents replay in their minds.
Go to this next part. I mentioned this earlier. NBC News obtained this audio of what appears to be Nolan's friends calling for help.
Here we go now.
Right?
Listen to it.
Apparently having problems. I want you to take a listen.
So, Deanna, yeah, I agree with you. The mark on the back of his head, yeah, I could see where he could probably been hit. But what crushed his trachea? That doesn't make any sense.
We're thinking, can y'all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Tyler, that's significant. That is a significant piece of this puzzle. What does that tell?
So now, the boys get out in the boat, and they trying to act like the boat is sinking. So they say. He had a red mark on the back of his head. I already showed the diagram a little bit earlier. This is what's going on with this audio. That they are trying to act like they having problems. Hello, Glenn. With the damn boat. See what I'm saying? This shit here is very peculiar. That's what's going on. Guys, the granny cam is on. 682-812-9713.
Tell you that there is this reported call about the boat that by all accounts Nolan was on at some point. It's having problems. Caller says everybody's on board. Again, we don't know for certain whether Nolan was on board during that call, but again, I think that's significant that this is happening. What does it tell you?
It's very significant. I mean, one, the statements that everybody is on board, and we don't know if Nolan was on board or not at the time. It's very significant, given that he did not arrive back home safely when that boat reached dock later on that day. And he allegedly left or wanted to stay behind with a female that he met that day at that island on the lake. So it's very significant. The statements could either be, one, if it's not true, of course, it's a lie that everybody was not on board, or if he was on board at the time.
Deanna, the autopsy is out. It is out, honey. Ben Crump spoke earlier today.
This call was made. What happened after that?
And if you're talking about now dispatch getting involved.
So this is contradicting what the light-skinned little boys are trying to say. Because they try to say Nolan never got on the boat. He sat there and stayed with Kate, hoping to get some pootie time. This is what they said. This whole audio thing contradicts what the boys are saying, because they acting like they having problems with the boat and the boat might be sinking. And when the operator asked them, is everybody safe? Is everybody on board? The light-skinned boy sat up there and said, yeah, everybody's on board. You didn't mention that Nolan wasn't on the boat.
Of there being a towing situation, I'm thinking more witnesses, eyewitnesses to what they saw about the boat or was involved. And by the way, let me go to this part. So CBS News obtained GPS data from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, and it tracks the boat's movement. So I want to walk through that timeline.
Walking through
the information they say they obtained via records request. So it appears to suggest that this boat, this vessel, left the dock at approximately 9:56 that morning, arrived at Horn Island at 11:14.
There you go.
According to GPS data, the boat then reportedly left Horn Island at 4:31 that afternoon, returned to its original departure dock, then traveled into Fort Bayou at around 5:52 before returning to the dock at 6:06. Later that evening, the boat went into the Fort Bayou boat launch at 7:19, traveled overland, which would suggest that it was possibly towed by a vehicle to the owner's residence. And to just kind of put this into perspective, I believe Ben Crump has claimed that Nolan was last seen on the island at 3 p.m.
There you go.
What do you take away from this GPS data?
Break it down.
That if he was last seen on the island at 3 p.m. and they apparently, not only did they leave there, go.
Deanna, both autopsies said that he had a big red mark on the back of his head. However, the first autopsy that was done in Mississippi, when they transported Nolan's body to Washington, D.C., it did not have the bones to his throat, which they said was very odd.
To another area, then go to dock and get towed. There's a lot that could have transpired between that time, especially putting that in conjunction with the text message.
Both are out, Deanna. However, they are still waiting for the bones of Nolan's throat to be flown to Washington, D.C. for further investigation.
And Snapchat history that was allegedly deleted from his phone or missing from his phone. So,
boom, shakalaka. Boom, shakalaka. Y'all doing too much. Granny's saying y'all doing too much on the boat. What is y'all doing? Trying to cover up some shit? What is y'all doing? Trying to cover up something? Why are you going to all of these different locations? Why did you tell the operator that everybody was on the damn boat? And you claiming Nolan wasn't on the boat. And you sat up there and claimed that Nolan was still on Horn Island with Katie. That's what you trying to pretend.
There's a lot of time for people to get their stories straight, to talk to.
Yeah, Deanna, they don't want her to work with it anymore, so I don't know why she still has it, because the coroner that is in Mississippi has a shady past. So I don't know why she even held on to it.
Maybe counsel or others about what needs to be the narrative when they arrive. Now, I'm speculating to a lot of this because we don't know. There has been no interrogation of these individuals. There's been no official statements that have been issued, but it's clear that there's been a significant period of time between the boat leaving, the last time Nolan was seen, and this boat getting back to its original owner.
Let's look at the Nolan Wells story through a media literacy lens and look at basic fact checking.
I just know I've lost my best friend.
This morning, a friend of Nolan Wells, who was with the 18-year-old the day he was last seen alive, is sharing what he says happened.
This story starts with Tristan Shepard saying he lost his best friend, a very emotional soundbite.
Really?
But Nolan's parents say otherwise.
So, first of all, we don't know Tristan. We've never met him. So to say, best friend, childhood friend, that's a bit of a stretch.
There you go. Okay, guys, we got a caller here. Caller, welcome to Why I Killed You TV. Who's calling?
Oh, wow. I'm just waking up. What's going on, Kelly?
What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. This is E-Nice from New Jersey.
Hey, what's going on, E-Nice?
Ain't that, nah. Can I say apology first?
For what?
kind of argued with one of the YouTube people because I didn't think they was doing a good job, and I gotta apologize for that because it's not my job to tell them to do somebody else's job.
Okay, who are you apologizing to? Somebody on here?
No, it was a YouTuber, Max Wonder. I didn't mean it to go that hard on him, but I just wanted. It's a park. I don't go this way. It's a park. I need somebody to look up the park.
The park?
Yes.
Where's this park supposed to be?
Where they got their other houses at.
Okay, what about it?
That's where I'm thinking whatever happened, happened.
Okay. So you're saying he left Horn Island with the boys.
He was dressed. Remember, he was dressed.
Okay, so he left Horn Island. Well, walk us through it real quick, would you please?
He left. They all left Horn Island. They made the call. I don't know what happened after that, but the stops between what's that, Biloxi, Fort somebody, 5 and 6. They got a house over there, and it's a park over there was abandoned. What got to me seemed like ritual things there.
Ritualistic things?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then so what happened? They unalived him there and brought him back on the boat.
And then put him it's more than one boat. So don't get kind of souped up with that one boat thing. It's more than one person in this.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, they had houses over there. To get this man over there, they had to have maybe a gun or something. Like, you just, like, it's alligators in that water. So it ain't like they gonna go there with a sinking boat and think that's a good idea.
Okay, so they took him to another park, took him out of the boat, unalived him, and then what happened?
Don't get me the line over there. Like, I just know, I don't even know that part, but that's what I'm thinking because they got an anchor in the ground.
Okay, then.
They got chairs in a circle.
Why
is all that in a park we haven't been there for 10, 20 years? They got new chairs up there what don't look like they was there for 20 years ago. So it was somebody just built something right there. Like, I can't say I don't have a drone. Somebody had a drone and he took a boat and he went over there. But that was 3 years ago.
Okay, so we got Brittany on the line, and Brittany said that the United Cajun Navy guy came out on Nancy Grace last night and said that he was fully clothed.
Yes,
so he didn't have the shorts on. Everybody was thinking he had on.
Yeah, so they was going back home because he got now they got a picture of that little daddy boat.
Right.
We don't know. I'm just guessing. He has a bag on that boat. Right on the side, they call it a dry bag or a wet bag, where it looked like he had clothes in a bag right there. I don't know nothing. I don't know, but
so they were saying that little daddy boat possibly belongs to Katie's daddy.
Correct. But it's the clothes thing. Like if he left the other person boat, he had to have clothes and his phone to me.
And his phone?
Maybe he took his phone and then after they gave it back to the people he supposed to man with. It's a bag on that boat. Like I said, I wasn't there, but it seemed like everybody's looking at Horns Island. Nobody's gonna do whatever they're gonna do on Horns Island. There's too many people there. Where is where they went next? Why did they go there with a sinking boat?
You think the boat was really sinking, or they just were faking the funk, trying to throw us off on something?
They faking a funk. They never got a tow, that I heard. First they got a tow, then it was only for 5 minutes or 2 miles. Then they didn't get a tow. It's houses, it's docks. It's a lot of things over there where you just gotta, I don't know. I gotta look, or they gotta look. Do your investigation, investigators.
Okay, so what's your next point? We got Brittany on here, and she said that she think he made it back to land to a pool party. That we heard that pool party was from a different date. It was not from July. It was from June 27th, Brittany.
He might get hurt for that because the person who took that post, I think he did that to try to cover somebody thinking he was smart and he messed up. That's why they took him down.
And then Brittany said they called the tow and then canceled it. So why would they cancel it? If the boat is sinking, it's sinking.
Yeah, because they got help from another boat. It was 4 boats out there, meaning 1 was a tow and 3 was the other boats. That's what they showed on a picture.
Okay.
Now I didn't see nothing else but the little picture, but it looked like they was, like I said, he could have been in another boat. Everybody's searching for this one boat. It's what's that? Fast and the Furious. Remember how they switch cars on you?
I don't watch that. I didn't watch that. But go ahead.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's the thing back when they got the little tops and the 3-car Molly, where they find the ball, and they got the ball. They gonna play tricks with you. It's a trick. It's a trick.
Okay, and then another thing, what did Brittany say? Brittany, okay, we already talked about that they had canceled the tow. And then Deanna said she didn't know anything about this sinking boat. Okay, then. You got any other points to make? I greatly appreciate you getting on here.
No, ma'am. I'm happy that you trying, and hopefully, good luck to his family.
It's very sad. It's very sad.
Yeah. Let's try to get the job done. If they're not doing their job in Mississippi, let's do it for them.
And so the last thing Brittany said is that the pool party metadata was messed with to change the date of the pool party photo. Hence, the guy in the pic that has the U.S. shaved in his chest.
The only thing what I gotta say with that pool party, if the pool party was at 1:00, the father got to the house to get the keys around 12 to 1. I'm thinking.
Exactly.
That's what I thought. So that could have
No. The father actually went the next day. He didn't go on the 4th.
You sure?
I'm 1,000% sure. The father, because you remember the father said that if he had a boat, he would go out looking for his son himself. I don't think the father started going out there until the 5th. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, please do, because I thought so at first, but then he said when he first got that call, he went to there and did that because he didn't have a boat, but he went to the island on the 5th. But I think he went to the house on the 4th to get the keys to the car.
I'm not really sure that's how it happened. I believe the mother started posting on social media that her son was missing the night of the 4th, and then the 5th. That's when they got the ball rolling.
That's after he got back from the island?
Yeah, well, I don't think he never got back from the island.
I mean, the father.
The father, yes. I believe after he got, it could have been before. I don't know if it was after or before, but I know the father interaction with those boys wasn't until the 5th.
Okay.
Because if you really think about it, they didn't call the mother until the 4th at 11:00. So it had to have been the 5th. Yeah, it had to have been the 5th.
But if they called at 11, how's the pictures at 12:00 on the 4th in the pool party?
Because the picture from the pool party was June the 27th.
But I'm saying with the girl saying that was that night because he had it written on his chest, USA or whatever. Everybody was thinking it was the 4th weekend because he had that thing written on his chest.
Okay, and then Deanna said something about the group took 3 boats owned by Warren's family.
Could be more than that. We don't really know 3 boats. We just guessing because that's what they own. It could be other people who own stuff.
That's true. That. And then she said something about the stepmother was a judge and the father is a doctor. And we already know the stepmother who's a judge started deleting her social media, so it is strange. Hey, Brittany, you got any other points? Nice.
It's all a game. All of them part of the same team. This is Mississippi burning. This is all that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's sad.
We got to stop it or help them try to maintain this system because it's getting worse. It's not getting better.
True that. Okay, then. Thank you so much.
Love you, baby girl.
All right. Take it easy.
Be good.
All right, Brittany, if you want to get on the phone line is open, 682-812-9713.
Parents told Natasha Alford with the Griot that they've never met Trayston. So were they best friends or not? Then consider what Trayston said about that viral video.
Well,
okay, Brittany, you just mentioned Chat GPT, and I did the same thing that Secret Service Sam did. I screenshotted that. I did a screenshot of that vote, and I asked Chat GPT what it said, and Chat GPT said it said "little daddy." That's what it said.
Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the thing I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
But Ben Crump says that there were multiple arguments on the island that day. So questions I'd be asking, why does this person have so much to say but won't show their face on camera? And why is this network news organization allowing this person to cast so much doubt without having this basic fact verified? So were they best friends?
Hey there, Papa. Yeah, it sounds like Nolan was a good kid. This is so senseless, guys.
Friends? Or is Trayston lying? The question we're now faced with is whether these grieving parents are lying or whether this network news organization helped facilitate a lie.
The whole thing in a nutshell, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Why would the parents lie about who Nolan's friend was? They don't need to lie about that. They have nothing to gain up in this camp by lying about who Nolan's friend was. If they say Traxton or whatever the damn name was, if they say Traxton was not his friend, then guess what? Guess what the fuck? He was not his friend. So let's talk about the car. Let's talk about the keys, and let's talk about the wallet. Nolan's car remained at the friend's house. His father went there to recover the vehicle. A friend initially said he did not know where Nolan's keys was, even though the damn car was in the damn driveway. His son's car was in the driveway. And you gonna sit up there and try to pretend? There you go. That you don't know where the damn keys was? Another person reportedly learned that the keys were on top of an Xbox that was inside of the friend's house. The keys were eventually given to the father, was given to Nolan's father. He also wanted Nolan's wallet returned. Police reportedly became involved in retrieving the wallet. Nolan's father said that the experience damaged his trust with that particular group. You see what I'm saying? Why are you playing motherfucking games with the damn wallet, with the damn keys, and with the damn sense? Makes no sense. Why are you playing games with this bullshit? That's what I don't understand. What's with all the games? What's with all of taking his damn cell phone and deleting shit off of the damn cell phone? So now we got conflicting stories up in the camp. The friends reportedly are claiming that Nolan he chose to stay with Katie in hopes, I guess, of getting some pootie tang, whatever the case may be. Katie reportedly told a different story. She said her encounter with Nolan was high and by, and that Nolan told her that he was getting back on the boat with his friends. These are two different accounts, but let me tell you something. Katie knew she needed to open her mouth, even though Katie has not directly opened her mouth. She knew she needed to open her mouth because guess what? If she didn't open her mouth through her mother and her sister, because that's who she's been talking to us through, she hasn't verbally said anything herself, but she's been talking to us through her mother. Deanna, I saw that actual interview also with Officer Tatum. I saw that. And through her sister. And she said big is day that her interaction with Nolan was just high and by. And so she knew she needed to say something because guess what, Katie? If you didn't say anything, guess what? You would have been the last person to see Nolan Wells. And everybody be looking cross-eyed at your ass. So anyway, some people are saying that the last time Nolan Wells was seen roughly about 3 p.m. And then other people are saying that was closer to 4:30. Nolan's best friend, and we don't know who the fuck that is at this point, said that Nolan was last seen at 4 p.m. Investigators must determine which timeline is accurate. The public should avoid treating either account as proof until officials verify it. See, this shit is weird. You cannot tell me for the life of me that this little boy decided to stay behind on an island where there weren't a lot of black people, and there sure as hell weren't a lot of people, period. After a certain time, there was only one family. There was only one family that camped out there. Why in the hell would he stay there?
Don't make no sense.
Absolutely no sense to me. So let's talk about the boat problem. Because evidently a parent...
Okay, before we talk about the boat problem, guys, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he voluntarily said he was going to stay behind. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that happened. And then put a 2 in the chat if you think that he did not voluntarily say he was going to stay behind.
Connected to the friend group posted about a possible boat problem. The post claimed that the boat was taking on water while it was sitting still, and that the boat evidently had a pump issue, and according to the explanation, the boat needed to continue on moving in order that it did not take on water. So as long as the boat was moving, the boat would not take on water. This was presented as maybe one of the reasons that the group left the island in the first place. The full mechanical details have not yet been publicly confirmed. It is also unclear whether or not they are alleging that this potential boat problem is the reason nobody ever went back to get Nolan. So remember, the boys said that Nolan voluntarily stayed on the island to be with Katie. So now, allegedly, help me out, guys. Allegedly, they have a boat issue. Isn't that peculiar? Isn't that a coinky dink? So Nolan's mother did not speak to Nolan during the entire day. At first, she believed that Nolan might have decided to spend another night with his friends. Roughly about 11 p.m. Guess what? One of Nolan's friends called his mother. The friend asked whether she had heard from Nolan. Now, ain't this some shit? He's supposed to be with you, and you asking the mother, has she heard from Nolan? That phone call immediately alarmed the family. The family was told that Nolan was last seen several hours ago. The friends reportedly said that they left Nolan on the damn island. That's some weird shit. They claimed Nolan wanted to remain with a girl named Katie, who he saw on the island. And according to accounts, Nolan was expecting to get another ride back off of the island. Nolan's mother immediately began checking his location through that 360 Life app. And it showed that his phone had returned to the mainland. Snapchat or Chitty Chat or whatever you want to call it, evidently reported that he was in a different location. This created some confusion about Nolan's movements in his location. See what I'm saying? They playing too many games. They did not know that Nolan's mother had the Life 360 on his damn phone, and that she knew that her son, according to the phone in the Snapchat Chitty Chat, evidently those two locations told her that Nolan had made it back to the mainland, but nothing is furthest from the truth. So the first search was really done by the family. Nolan's mother began posting on social media when she found out that Nolan was missing, and there was a great possibility he did not come back to the mainland. Only his phone came back. That's weird. Anyway, guys, the grandma cam is still on. 682-812-9713. Anyway, the family, they did not own a boat. However, the coach saw the social media posts that the mother was posting, and the coach offered to take Nolan's father to the island. They reportedly left around 5 a.m. on July the 5th. Now, Nolan went missing.
There you go, E-Nice. The father left with the coach on July the 5th.
And on July the 4th. So 5 a.m. the coach and the daddy went out looking for Nolan. 5 a.m. on July the 5th. Nolan's father and the coach searched sections of Horn Island. They walked the beach and they circled around the island by boat. They found no visible signs of Nolan. Nolan's father believed they would have seen him if he were there. He also said that a family appeared to have camped out overnight, and they should have seen Nolan too if they had camped out. Boats were reportedly still docked near the island. This raised some serious questions with Nolan's family.
The family was thinking whether or not did Nolan ask for somebody to help him. They still did not believe that Nolan, and I don't believe it, that Nolan would stay behind and lead the group. So the official search involved several agencies. Several people were out there helping. It was devastating. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department participated. The U.S. Coast Guard also was involved. Guys, Granny getting pissed. The U.S. Coast Guard was involved. The Gulf Islands National Seashore personnel also assisted. The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources also participated. The United Asian Navy also participated in the search. Search teams, they used boats, aircrafts, helicopters, drones. However, that search did not locate Nolan on that July 5th. That official search did not locate Nolan. So, guys, let's look at the poll that I created. It says, will we get arrested in the Nolan Wells case? And 69% of you guys said yes. And 31% of you guys said no. Guys, the cam is still open. Guys, you could give me a call. The number is 682-812-9713 if you want to verbalize something about this particular case. Nolan's body was not found until July the 6th. Now remember, he went out to Horn Island on July the 4th to celebrate July the 4th. His body was not found until July the 6th. Y'all getting Granny pissed off. I'm getting heated up in here. A National Park Serviceman actually found Nolan's body in the water. The discovery occurred roughly about 8:45 a.m. Central Standard Time on July the 6th. Nolan was later identified through dental records. Authorities initially stated that this was not foul play. How the fuck y'all figure that? Y'all did that quick. Y'all immediately suspected that this was not foul play. This boy was a swimmer. He knew how to swim. Nolan's body was transferred for further examination. The local coroner reported that there was no obvious immediate signs of injury to Nolan's body. The family continued to question, how was it possible that they missed finding him in those two earlier searches? Water currents and tides could be important to understanding this particular timeline. How is it possible that he was not found earlier? Evidently, guys, let's talk about the damn autopsy and the independent investigation. The state medical examiner, and we're going to talk about that, was asked to examine Nolan's remains. Nolan's family also requested an independent autopsy. The independent autopsy was reportedly conducted outside of Mississippi, and the family wanted a medical examiner with no local connections. Toxicology testing was also expected. The independent autopsy was reportedly funded by Colin Kaepernick, the football player. The final autopsy and toxicology conclusions should be treated as controlling evidence once officially released. How the fuck does all this happen to this boy? And y'all immediately jumped to the damn conclusion that there was no damn foul play. Guys, the granny cam is still on. If you want to call in, you can call in. How is this possible?
What does that have to do with Nolan? Y'all, the autopsy. Everybody's screaming where the autopsy is.
We got it now.
Now, the police were saying, no. We're waiting for toxicology reports, but you don't need toxicology
Break it down.
Reports in order for drowning.
Break it for Granny.
You don't. To be like, the cause of death was drowning. You don't need toxicology reports. Interestingly enough, when somebody does drown, and when somebody dies and then they are put in the water, it's very, very easy for coroners to say, no, they were already dead when water entered the lungs. It's actually very easy, right? I think based off what we found out about the coroner, I think that the police chief,
Break it down.
But I think the police chief, I think the coroner, I think the judge, I think everybody is waiting because they didn't think that Nolan's family was going to get an independent autopsy. Independent autopsies are very expensive. When I tell you a cheap one is between 80,000
Oh
and a
my
really good
God.
one can be up to
That's a lot of
400,000.
money.
They're
Lord.
not cheap at all. At
Oh
all.
my
The average
God.
person can't do an independent autopsy. They just really can't, especially when you're looking for forensics and cause of death. So what Cap did, Colin Kaepernick,
God bless him.
finally got his name right. What he did was amazing. See, here's what I think's going on. And I think the evidence shows it. I think they were all prepared to lie.
There you go.
Duh.
Duh.
I think they're still
There
prepared
you
to lie.
go. There you
But
go.
I think that they want to see what the independent autopsy says first so they can get their story really discombobulate. Because here's the thing. If this lady comes out and she says, well, it's kind of undetermined. We don't know. Or maybe she'll say, well, I looked and I think he drowned. What does that do? What does that do? And then the independent autopsy comes out and be like, what are you talking about? He out of this, that, and the third, et cetera, right? When he does that, one, it makes her look inept. It makes her look like a liar. It makes a cover-up happen. But more importantly,
go ahead.
It's the first blow to take down a corrupt system where if you can prove that not only did she do an end thing, but her conclusions were unsustainable by a peer-reviewed medical board of people that do, what do you call it, pathologists, people that do autopsies. That means that other families that had concern about the autopsies, that had concerns about her current autopsy, can challenge it.
Okay, what is your name and your job title?
I'm Stacy Turner, and I'm the Chief Medical Examiner of the state of Mississippi.
This is the corrupt coroner out of Mississippi. So they have taken Nolan's body from her and taken it to D.C. However, she did not allow Nolan's throat bones to go. So she still has the bones to the throat, which is odd.
How long have you been at DPS?
It will be 5 years as January 1st.
What do you love most about your job?
I really love the people I work with.
What is your go-to?
She's under investigation right now for some shady shit.
Karaoke song?
Well, I don't sing because I'm a horrible singer. It sort of sounds like maybe an animal dying. But if I had to, maybe something by Joan Jett.
Okay, what is your biggest pet peeve?
People who behave like elitists.
What makes you laugh?
Bad dad jokes.
What is your favorite Disney character?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think Maleficent.
So let's read up on this Dr. Stacy Turner. Somebody help me. She is the Chief Medical Examiner for the state of Mississippi, a position which she has held permanently since 2021. She's shiesty. She is facing some public scrutiny and allegations from families and advocates regarding how she classifies causes of death, particularly in controversial or high-profile cases involving Black individuals. Oh, there you go. Okay, y'all getting Granny upset. Damon Cameron. In that particular case, Dr. Turner. Read it, guys. It's there. Dr. Turner ruled the 2021 death of Cameron, a Black man who died following a violent encounter with law enforcement, as undetermined. Several independent pathologists later reviewed the autopsy files and argued the death should have been ruled as a homicide, leading critics to accuse her of shielding police officers from scrutiny. See what I'm talking about? We tired of the bullshit now. We tired of it. Damn sure is. And then Trey Reed and Nolan Wells, advocacy groups and families have questioned Dr. Turner's autopsy conclusion, such as in the death of Reed, which was ruled a damn suicide, according to her, and have criticized her handling of other suspicious in-custody deaths and drownings. You see what I'm getting at? We tired of this. We tired of the bullshit, guys. We tired of it.
Chief Medical Examiner of Mississippi by the name of Stacy
Ooh, no,
Turner
not Stacy.
has a history of lying about black men's causes of death.
Shannon Wilson, a 13-year-old boy. Friends pushed him in the creek in Mississippi. Guess who was the medical examiner?
Who was it? Who was
Covered it up.
Who was it? Deanna, she is under investigation for a whole lot of people. I'm not really sure what she's doing right about now, but she is under investigation for at least 3 African American deaths.
Ding, ding,
oh
ding,
my
ding, ding.
goodness.
Stacy Turner again. Crump, this is 0 for 3 for Stacy.
Secret Service Sam here for Nolan Xavier Wells, and Stacy Turner is the medical examiner in Mississippi. And here's the reason we can't trust her, because allegedly she is famous for ruling things accidental, like Terrence Reed, the kid who was found unalived in a park hanging,
Nice, are you saying she has 13 cases against her? She's under investigation for 13 cases?
What I mean?
Oh my God.
He unalived himself, of course, which the family does not believe this. There's also another kid, Shannon Wilson, a young man who she mishandled this autopsy as well, who was pushed into water by some racist friends. He drowned. She ruled it, shocker, accidental.
Uh-oh.
She is famous for doing this. So that is why they had to get an independent autopsy, allegedly, because you have to see, that is why this is all about race, because from the medical examiner, from the sheriff.
Very good point, Deanna. Why allow her to do Nolan's case? Why allow her to do that? I guess, and you know what? I guess this is why they flew him to D.C.
Sheriffs, from the lawyers, from the DAs, from the Governor Tate Reeves. Did you see that he did blackface in college? Like,
oh my God,
all part of this.
Are you serious?
And that's why we need justice for all these people.
Trey Reed, Nolan Wells, Damian Cameron. Different circumstances, different years.
Okay, Nice is not saying it was 13 cases. He is saying that the boy that they were referring to was only 13 years old. That's sad.
One office, one person had authority over every single case. Mississippi has one state medical examiner's office. By law, it determines cause and manner of death for every reportable unexplained death in the state. Dr. Stacy Turner has led that office since November 2021. Interim chief starting January 2021. Trey Reed found hanging at Delta State in 2025. Her office.
All right, guys, let's get these likes up. Guys. You want to get on the mic? The number is 682-812-9713.
Confirmed suicide on the record. Nolan Wells found off Horn Island this year. His case fell under the same statewide system. Shannon Wilson is 2022.
Oh my goodness.
Who is a white man, but he is a marginalized individual because he was homeless. And we know back in the day, they did also hang homeless people. But he was found on the same day.
Okay, guys, we got another caller. Let's see who's calling here.
Oh.
Caller, this is Kelly from Why Kills You TV. Who's calling?
It's Ralph again.
Hey, how you doing, Nice? What's going on?
How's it going? I told you they was going to find that boy, that they did something wrong to him. But here's my thought. If they found him face down, and then they had a closed casket, am I correct?
I believe the casket was closed. They really didn't elaborate on that. If the casket was ever open, it was open in the back.
Okay,
it wasn't open to the public.
Yeah, because you could see if somebody drowned, their face would be, kind of like blown up like with water. But it wouldn't be horrible enough for people not to see it, to be viewed. Am I correct?
Well, I don't know how long was he in the water. That's another thing. If he was in the water all that time, I'm sure, he was probably disfigured.
No, he wasn't in the water that time. The guy that found him said that his body wasn't waterlogged, meaning like, when you sit in the tub for so long it shrivels up.
Right.
His body wasn't shriveled up.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's crazy because these people think that we're stupid. As long as we don't look, they're going to keep doing what they do. It's what they do. They had a white guy on there telling us what they do. They get together 6 months out of the year and plot and do something.
That's horrible.
What we should do as black people, set them sundown towns up. Let them believe that somebody's in there that's black and they want them out. Flush them out and have those freedom fighters like the Black Panther come in there and get them and have them arrested. Catch them right in the act.
Yeah, but do you think we're going to have arrest in this particular case?
I believe so, because the body, they already keeping body parts. As far as the examiner,
I
want to see if they're going to give it to the independent examiner.
I don't think she got a choice. She gonna give it, but I don't know what she doing with it. It's like she hiding something.
They're dragging their feet. They know it's coming.
Exactly.
They know it's coming. I mean, like, I can't imagine. I have kids. I can't imagine if somebody did that to one of my kids. I think I would have to take the law into my own hands, because you know what? Ain't nobody protecting me and my family. I have to do it myself.
True
and
that.
As a man, as a black man, I gotta stand up.
True that. True that. Okay then, E Nice. Thank you so much.
Talk to you later.
All right,
Have a good
bye-bye.
day.
Guys, the line is still open. You want to get on here? 682-812-9713.
Trey Reed was hung. 2 hangings, 1 day. Same office, same jurisdiction. I want to be exact here because accuracy matters to me. Reed was ruling personally confirmed by Dr. Turner. For Wilson, Zucketis, and Wells, what's confirmed is that they fell under her office's authority as the state's chief medical examiner. Not that she personally signed every report, but here's a case where her personal ruling itself is the story. Damian Cameron, Braxton, Mississippi, July 2021. His mother says she watched Rankin County deputies chase him, tase him repeatedly,
Oh my
to the ground
goodness.
and kneel on his back for
Ooh,
over 2
y'all
minutes.
doing too much.
When his body reached Dr. Turner's office, swollen, bloody, bruised, he ruled his death undetermined. 3 national forensic pathologists later reviewed his autopsy photos, hospital records, and eyewitness statements for the New York Times and Mississippi Today. Their conclusion? This should have been ruled a homicide. No body cameras were required by Mississippi law. The grand jury declined to indict. The case was closed in 2022, but in 2026, an appeals court ruled the circuit court must reconsider whether those deputies were to blame. It's still not over. Cameron wasn't an isolated incident. He was one of the latest 9 men who died during encounters with Rankin County deputies since 2014.
Oh my
5
goodness.
deputies and 1 local officer from that same department are now in prison, convicted for torturing 2 black men, Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins, in 2023. 1 deputy shoved his gun into Jenkins' mouth and pulled the trigger.
Oh my
This
God.
was investigative reporting that was a finalist for the Pulitzer
They're
Prize
doing too much.
and Goldsmith Prize. So when we talk about disputed hanging cases, Reed and also Nolan Wells when he was drowned, the pattern across Mississippi is the same system behind all of it. 1 office, 1 final word on cause of death. When the system that's supposed to tell us the truth about how someone died has this much unchecked power and this track record, how should we trust the next ruling without a fight? I'm not accusing one person of conspiracy. I'm asking why one office holds this much authority over so many disputed black deaths, but no mandatory independent second opinion.
Ooh, he's upset.
Many like Reed's and Wells had to fight and pay for outside review just to question the state's own finding. Say their names. Push for independent review as standard, not a privilege. Only some families can afford. Because right now, 1 office has the final word.
This is Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Stacy Turner. And every last one of these black men deaths were mysterious. And they were actually murdered. Dr. Stacy has never ruled a black man's death a homicide in Mississippi.
Oh my God.
And I think every single black person in Mississippi needs to be calling for her resignation.
So we already know that Benjamin Crump is on the case. Ben Crump is on the case. He is now representing the Nolan family. Crump announced that he wanted an independent investigation. His team wanted authorities to conduct a complete and transparent review of this particular case. Crump highlighted the conflicting stories about Nolan Wells' final moments. He also questioned why Nolan's phone returned to the mainland without Nolan. That's peculiar. He also questioned why Nolan would willingly remain on the island without his phone. Crump also wants witnesses to provide pictures and videos of what happened on July the 4th. His team wants to reconstruct the damn timeline using digital evidence and eyewitnesses' accounts.
Crump said the family is seeking answers rather than rushing to conclusions. The family has expressed some frustration about communication with local authorities. Crump ain't fucking around.
He sure
He
ain't.
ain't fucking around.
He
Guys,
sure ain't.
the granny cam is still on. The granny cam is still on, guys. The phone number is there. Guys, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The granny cam is on. Guys, the number is 682-812-9713. This case is sad. It's sad. You want to get on the mic and say something, guys. The granny cam is on. This is really sad. It's really sad what happened to this young boy. So we already know. Granny already knows. I done already told y'all that there was a dispute on that boat. There's a short video that is circulating online concerning what happened on that island. A voice that can be heard shouting during the recording. Some people believe that the voice says, "Give me my freaking phone." Ben Crump reportedly said that the voice belonged to Nolan. One of Nolan's friends later claimed that the voice was his. That friend said that he was asking to get off the boat. The audio is unclear and has been interpreted in different ways. The speaker's identity has not yet been conclusively established publicly, so we don't know whose voice that was. Investigators may need some original video files or some audio analysis in this particular case. The whole thing in a nutshell, the family has already said they don't know who the fuck that Tristan Shepard. They do not know.
They don't know.
He is.
They don't know him.
And Tristan is the one, or Tristan, however the fuck you say his name. He is the one that's claiming that it is his voice that can be heard on that damn boat having an argument. Guys, some other things that are being disputed is the pool party video footage.
Deanna, I actually witnessed the autopsy years ago, and they pretty much, I don't want to sound graphic, but they pretty much do it like a turkey. You know how when you get a turkey, all of the organs are kind of stuffed inside the body. So I'm sure when they got the body and they opened up the bag where the organs were, they noticed that the bone to the throat was missing. An image circulating shows a young man believed to be Nolan. Online users have claimed the picture came from a mainland party. Some allegedly believe that this was taken roughly about 1 a.m. on July the 5th. Now listen with your brain. They say that this picture was taken about 1 a.m. on July the 5th. Nolan was last seen, allegedly, July the 4th. And the times seem to differ. Some say at 3 p.m., some are saying 4, some are saying 4:30, whatever the case may be. This still picture is evidently circulating, and it has been produced. And people were saying allegedly it was taken at 1 a.m. on July the 5th. Apparently, Nolan is already deceased. Horn Island does not have a swimming pool. So if they don't have a swimming pool, then guess what? That means that Nolan made it back to the mainland. If authenticated, the image could significantly change the timeline. However, the image, the identity, and the location, as well as the timestamp, require some verification. You're exactly right, E-Nice. They have been playing games since day one, and this is so sad how they did this boy.
A screenshot on social media timestamp is not automatically a reliable source of proof. However, everybody is saying that it's a great possibility that this picture was taken on June the 27th. Nowhere near July. Nowhere near July. See what I'm saying, guys? This case is getting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Why this had to happen to this little boy is unbelievable to me. So we already know that Nolan Wells was laid to rest. God bless him.
That's very interesting, Papa. I haven't heard about that particular case. The Kiwi boy, I never heard about that particular case. Yesterday, he was laid to rest on yesterday. And Al Sharpton, he is there to support the family. And during the funeral service, Al Sharpton said that he was going to put up a $50,000 reward. God bless him. For anybody knowing anything about what happened to Nolan Wells. And evidently, while he was speaking, Tyler Perry contacted Reverend Al Sharpton and said he was going to match his $50,000 reward. And so now there's a $100,000 reward that's going to be given to anybody who knows what happened to this young boy. I think the reward is up to $125,000 because I believe T.O., what is his name? The football player T.O. also donated $25,000 as well. We already know that Colin Kaepernick, evidently, he's paying for the independent autopsy for this little boy, and we already know that Tyler Perry also paid for the funeral. There's so many people, so many bigwigs involved in this, guys, and they should be, because this is sad. This does not have to happen. This was senseless. Nolan's parents appeared in several interviews. They repeatedly said that their main goal was learning what happened to their baby. They want to know what happened. Nolan's mother said that the family wants answers regardless of anybody's race. Okay, because I've said this in other videos, guys. Okay, don't play. I don't think this was a race thing. I think they were jealous. I think they were jealous that that white girl, it's a great possibility she was liking his ass. And they couldn't figure out why Katie. And guys, I'm speculating. I wasn't there. Granny wasn't there. I'm speculating. I don't know what the hell happened. But I think that this is more of a jealousy thing than a race thing. But the whole thing in a nutshell, how it's... Thank you, E-Nice. What's his name? Terrell Owens? Terrell Owens. That's who donated the other $25,000. So I think it's up to $125,000 for anybody who knows, anything about what happened to Nolan Wells. There is a reward. Guys, let's get these damn likes up, please. All right, guys. The phone line is still open, 682-812-9713. Being handled, in my opinion, is a race thing. That's what I'm thinking. So Nolan Wells' mother said that they want answers regardless of anybody's race. The family wanted to thank all of the volunteers, wanted to thank the classmates, wanted to thank the coaches, wanted to thank all of the community leaders. Nolan's parents also wanted to express their gratitude to the United Cajun Navy. Okay. They wanted to express their gratitude for that, for the search for Nolan Wells. Like I said, this didn't have to happen, and a lot of this shit is just not adding up. Not to me, at least. Not if it's adding up to you. I don't know. Explain it to me. Get on the mic. I need to hear what the hell you talking about. This is weird.
This video is allegedly of Nolan Wells on an unidentified boat.
Uh-oh. Oh my goodness.
Now, I said that the boat was unidentified because we can't quite make out exactly what it is, but Secret Service Sam tried to do the best that he could. This is the picture that was taken from the video. And
now I'm going to tell you what I did. I did my own research. I actually screenshot what you guys are looking at right there. I screenshot it. And I put it in ChatGPT. And I asked ChatGPT what it said. And what it said was Little Daddy. Little Daddy. But little is spelled L-I-L. Little, the abbreviation for love. That's what I did, guys. Stop the video. Screenshot it. Put it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what does that say on that boat? And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the same damn results that I did.
He enhanced it and came up with this.
Does it? Yeah, look
It
at it.
says Little Daddy.
Look, yeah, it says Little Daddy. That's what it says on the boat, guys. Now, somebody actually said it says Mac Daddy. I don't see how you get an M out of there. Somebody said it was Mac Daddy, but it looked like it. So, E-Nice is talking about there is a green bag right there where Nolan is. I don't really see. I see something green, but I'm not really sure if it's a bag, and evidently it might have been holding some clothes of Nolan. So maybe Nolan changed his clothes at some point. It looked like Little Daddy to me.
Now, I believe it was the guy who runs the page, We Are Human Too, who said he don't believe.
Right, and Little Daddy, that boat is supposedly belonging to Katie's father. So why is he on Katie's father's boat? That's interesting. And from what I understand, Katie's uncles were also present.
That it says Little Daddy, but the daddy part I don't think is disputable. But the first,
yeah, some people said, yeah, you're right, Deanna. Some people were saying that it said Mac Daddy. But go ahead and take a screenshot of it, guys, and put it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will tell you Little Daddy, not Mac Daddy.
Part of it is in question. Now, what's the significance of this boat? Well, word on the street is that boat belongs to this man.
Who that is?
Now, who is this man?
Who is he?
Allegedly, this man is the father of the so-called girl, the mystery girl.
There you go. Not Katie.
Nolan was hanging out with. Word on the street is this guy is this guy. This is Katie's father. Now, what's the significance? Well, if our guy, Nolan, is indeed on this boat.
There you go. Virgo said, how would the family not know if that's him? I'm not really sure if I'm following you. And then Brandy said, did y'all watch the autopsy? Yeah, I posted information about the autopsy a little earlier, Brandy. You can rewind. Can you, Virgo girl, can you repost your comment? I'm not really following you.
This is the same boat. Then Katie got some explaining to do.
There you go.
Because Katie, let her tell it, said she briefly spoke to Nolan, and then he took off and started about it.
That's what I told y'all asses. I told you Katie needed to open her. She needed to open her mouth, guys. I said that 3 videos ago. She had to say something. Because if you didn't say something, Katie, then guess what? You was the last one to see Nolan Wells alive. There you go. Not the friends. You was the last one. That's what I'm talking about. Now, this is peculiar. This the shit to new. So Virgo is saying nobody seems to know if that's him. And I'm assuming you're talking about if that was Nolan when he was bending down by the Little Daddy boat. So we're not really sure if that was him. But guys, there wasn't a whole lot of black people on the island. So who the hell could it be? Light on him, motherfucker.
This business to hanging out with his buddies, who I believe actually killed him. Also, if that is indeed Nolan on that boat,
here we go.
Then that could change the timeline.
There you go.
Once again, that's him. Now, here's the deal, fam. This guy, once he got wind of people talking about him on the internet and pointing him out as perhaps having some type of association to Nolan's death, he vanished.
Smoke.
He vanished.
Oh my
goodness.
Just
totally disappeared.
Oh my goodness.
Went dark.
Oh God.
Saying that whatever happened, we're calling an incident. Our job as United Cajun Navy is to bring people home back to their families, first of all alive, second of all recover the body if possible. We knew in this case the time frame that was involved that we were looking for a recovery at this point.
It's so sad.
When I said the incident,
so sad.
Something happened to make Nolan not be with us anymore. It appears as though it was a drowning. You know, there was a lot of rumors about him being brought back to the land 10 miles away and you know, brought back out there and dumped off. I don't believe any of that is true. Whatever happened in that water, we're calling the incident. You know, the water goes from 2 to 3 foot to like 20 feet real quick. You know, there was some underage kids out there drinking. It's an island, there's no IDs being checked or anything like that. So we said an incident, there's anything that could have happened. And not every person that drowns do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering. But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at...
Okay, guys, the granny cam is still on. You can call 682-812-9713. What do y'all think? Type. And so Deanna says that she believes, I think she's talking about Katie's dad has something to do with law enforcement. For one in the chat, if you think that this was an accident. And type a 2 in the chat if you think it was an accident. Type a 1 if you think it was an accident. Type a 2 if you think it wasn't an accident. Go ahead.
The United Cajun Navy. The video taken from their aerial craft. On the beach, you see a grouping of individuals. Now, from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body that we are not showing. It's just not right. But I can tell you, when you see that grouping of people on the beach, they look like little ant figures from this high up above, but that is where.
Thank you, Virgo. Thank you, Brandy. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, I think that these boys had something to do with it.
Nolan's body is. They're standing around
it. It's so
it.
sad.
As I recall, Todd Terrell, Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned. Now, when we say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was in the same vicinity of where he possibly drowned, right there. So it was not uncommon for the body to have washed up right there. That being said, that area full of rip currents really strong right there goes from 2 to 3 foot to 20 feet, pretty much within a couple steps. So that being said, whatever happened really, really close to where the body was found.
Todd Terrell, I don't mean to be giving you a hard time. This is not about you. The United Cajun Navy are the protagonists in this scenario. You're the good guys. I've just got so many questions about how this happened. Was there anyone else on Horn Island when Nolan's body
It's so sad,
found?
guys. So sad.
Now, there was the park ranger was out there, and there was some law enforcement officials that actually had their boats anchored out there. They were kind of like waiting around for a call of what to do. What people don't realize is when you're looking for a body on the water, especially in the Gulf where you have waves going and you have white caps, it's a little bit harder to see. When you're in a boat, you can only kind of see the vicinity around you. So when we put these seaplanes up in the air, we can get a much more visual of the.
So guys, if we oh Lord, I tried to stop the video. I'm gonna restart the video. You can see where they're looking at his body over
area.
here.
And these seaplanes can go low and slow. So what we do is
I'll back this up just a little bit. I'll back it up. I want to back it up a little bit.
Especially in the Gulf where you have waves going and you have white caps.
Look around here. You can see where they're looking at his body.
You can only kind of see the vicinity around you. So when we put
right
these
there,
seaplanes up
right
in the
there.
air, we can get a much more visual of the much more bigger area. And these seaplanes can go low and slow.
Sad.
So what we do is we stay in contact with the officials on the ground and tell them what we see. And if they see something too, they can relay it up to us and we can go investigate it. So in this case, there were several law enforcement boats that were just kind of hanging out in the area on the island. And there was numerous other boats in the area, circling and looking. But the body was found by a park ranger as it washed up on the beach.
Very curious, Todd. Guys, joining us, Todd Terrell.
So E-Nice says, when they left to go to the island, they left with 3 boats. Why would you go home with only one? That's weird. And then Brandy says, ATP, if you don't know, seek help. They sent him to his parents' missing body parts. Not really following that particular comment.
The United Cajun Navy. When I said, was anyone else on the island when Nolan's body was found?
Okay, guys, we got another caller here. Let's see here. Uh-oh. What the heck did I do? Here we go. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me get you. Caller, how are you? This is Kelly.
Hey, Miss Kelly, how are you?
Good. How are you? Who's calling?
This is Brandy. I had to hang up and call.
Okay, then.
Can't see everything typing. I can't type that fast.
Okay. Wait, where you calling from? Where you calling from? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from New Orleans.
Okay,
What's up, Chad?
All right. All right. Welcome. We got New Orleans at the house. So that's that.
No, girl, this is crazy. At this point, I'm feeling like this is bigger than anything. Like, if you feel as though that you could even get away with stuff like this, and then to keep covering it up and keep doing worse and worse and worse things, you sent him to his parents, to other autopsy people, medical examiner, with missing body parts.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, that's what you were saying. That's what you were saying. Gotcha.
Go?
Exactly.
How far y'all willing to go with this cover up?
Exactly. And did you see when Ben Crump announced that that's what happened? It was like a hush. Everybody was so shocked.
Girl, I never seen nothing like this in my 42 years.
Wow. But explain this to me.
Cover up where you lie and you do, but to take somebody's body parts and keep them.
Right. But explain to me this.
Next level.
Why did Ben Crump sit up there and read off what the medical examiner found? That medical examiner should have been there.
I told somebody said that today in the comments. Ben Crump is, I don't care what they feel about Ben Crump. Ben Crump has decided to use his passing of the bar, the lawyer. You know, they have different realms of lawyers. They do criminal, they do civil, they do whatever. He took let me see how to say this. Okay. He chose to fight for civil rights, Black Lives Matter. You see, that's the only cases he take.
Right.
Instead of y'all criticizing Ben Crump, like, if Ben Crump wasn't to do this job right here, what he doing? Who y'all can name that's gonna do it?
Exactly.
Who don't
get me wrong.
So you're just gonna keep getting away with it before a lawyer step out for us?
Exactly. And don't get me.
First of all, y'all worry about Ben Crump. It's time for somebody to put on Martin Luther shoes.
You ain't kidding.
And have a civil rights movement.
You ain't kidding. But look, I ain't criticizing Ben, but I don't think he should have been reading that.
Yeah, you know, Ben kind of, he can't articulate well.
Well, he's not the doctor.
But I know one
He's not
thing.
the doctor.
He's not the doctor, but the doctor wrote that. Ben Crump is a prestigious $5 to $10 million man. You think he gonna lie about and risk his freedom to go to jail just to expose corruption in Mississippi? Who been corrupted?
You
Who
right.
been getting away with corruption?
You're right, but I think if the doctor was there, we would have got more detailed information of what happened.
True.
I was very disappointed.
I'm looking at the bigger picture. They cut the boy throat out and kept it. They kept his stomach. Like, this going too far.
It is.
I mean, how high up is this? Because you have to have a certain type of connection to even think you can do this.
Yeah, that's beyond saying. That is beyond.
And this media stuff is crazy too. Because there's certain media that, if it wasn't for y'all content creators, this story wouldn't be as big as it was. I followed this from the first day. There's nothing about this case that went step by step that I don't know. I've been watching this since July 5th, whenever it came out, until now, every day, day and night, different content creators, all day, all night. My children gone for the summer. I have watched this case unfold from beginning to end.
It's
you
sad.
see what I'm saying?
It's so sad. It really is.
If it wasn't for y'all content creators, this case wouldn't have been as big as it is, because it looked like whoever covering this up, they control the media too, the main media.
Yeah, but so I gotta ask you a question before you go. You think we're gonna have an arrest pretty soon?
Do y'all understand what the grand jury is? I think they wasn't anticipating this big of an audience. I don't think they anticipated this. I don't think they anticipated her calling Ben Crump. That's what I think.
Right.
Because when they was doing that to her, and you could tell she like timid and mom, like you can tell she's not confrontational. You can tell she's not any of that.
Right.
But she's very articulate. She's very educated. And this her son. She stood on business. I don't think they anticipated her getting in touch with Crump and make for the story to be this big.
Mm-hmm.
But each step they take, they is taking themselves further down the road. Now, is they gonna find out who really did it? The boy Warren came out and did an interview that didn't make no sense. I don't see why he did that. But yeah, they filing it. They cover their tracks and however they do it. But as far as the grand jury, when the prosecutors bring this to the grand jury, she has to present the evidence. It's not like they have no lawyer there that's going, go against her. They don't have a defense attorney in there. It's just her bringing evidence. It's all on how she presents this case to the grand jury.
Okay, we got I think you say Betsy in the chat. Betsy, nobody's criticizing Ben Crump. What I am saying is,
no.
I don't think.
You talking about you?
Yeah. It looked like Betsy. Yeah, it looked like by no means am I criticizing Ben Crump. But what I'm saying is,
I know all you saying was he didn't articulate it for the people to understand what really, in medical terms.
He's not a medical examiner. It should have been a medical examiner there.
Dummy terms, and I ain't gonna lie, I understood it more in dummy terms because when they go to talking all that medical stuff, I don't know what's going on.
No. Yeah, don't get it twisted up. I love me some Ben Crump, but I don't think that was his place. I don't think that was his place.
He's the only one fighting for us. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a proper. They got a big job, paid propaganda. They got all type of stuff going on. I don't understand this world really.
Yeah. Oh no, I love me some Ben Crump. I just didn't think it was his place to do that. We needed the medical examiner there to explain, to break everything down.
But it's all in how she how the prosecutor present this case to the grand jury, and with the people standing up right now, like now that it's worldwide, nationwide, whatever, you can't just go in this grand jury and think you're gonna do what you did with the boy that got shot by the police in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think she could do that like that. Not this time, prosecutor.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Betsy, you getting it all twisted up. Betsy, you getting it twisted up. I am not by no means criticizing Ben Crump.
Because it was some other people that were saying it in the comments.
Yeah, no, I'm not criticizing him. I just didn't think it was his place to read that. He's not the medical examiner. He should have let the medical. For the life of me, I don't know why the medical examiner wasn't there. That's crazy.
Did y'all see? I thought it was that black man that was I thought it was a black. Well, I thought it was that black man though, because somebody posted. You know how y'all make y'all picture for y'all content. Somebody had posted that black man when they posted, this video about the autopsy. I don't know if that black man with the good hair was the medical examiner.
Well, if he was, did he ever get up and speak? I didn't see him speak.
No.
Yes, that don't make no sense. If he
did y'all pay attention to how Ben Crump connected the other cases?
Oh yeah, because you know there's a black police officer that just drowned too.
Yes, girl. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is bigger than rap. This is bigger than just talk, and bigger than one case. Nolan. It can't this. Got to be. I ain't no conspiracy theories. I don't listen to none of that stuff that they be making up. I'm not that type of person. But this right here, it's just telling me it's bigger than this. It's bigger than what you think it is. And how he chose that conference to tie in the rest of them cases. Baby, I don't know what's going on, but the KKK that think they come in, I'm not being a slave for nobody.
Well, I appreciate you for getting on here. I appreciate you so much.
All right, Miss Kelly. All right, check, yo.
I'll talk to you.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Your answer was completely 100% accurate, but let me rephrase and refine my question.
Break it down.
You're saying the park ranger found him. That leads me to believe there were no friends. There was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own and the friend girl?
Okay, let's clear something up. First of all, I am not criticizing Ben Crump whatsoever. I am just saying that I don't think it was his place to comment on what the findings were. Guys, I'm a registered nurse. Sometimes the doctor can come in the room and explain everything to the patient. When he leaves, the patient's still asking me questions. It's not my place to interpret to the patient what the doctor said. I'll go get the doctor again. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. I am not dogging out Ben Crump. He does a marvelous job. I respect the man to the fullest, so I am not. Now, and then I see Eden Knight says something about the boat. Somebody is interpreting the boat to say on the back, Little Daddy, and other people are saying it says Mac Daddy. Guys, if you have Chat GPT, matter of fact, you don't even have to have Chat GPT because you could do the free version a couple of times. Screenshot what it says on that boat and then put it into Chat GPT and ask Chat GPT what it says. And you probably go get the same answer I got. And it says Little Daddy. And if it does say Little Daddy, then guess what? Katie's daddy might be involved if that was indeed Nolan. Okay, if that was indeed Nolan on the side of the boat messing around with, I don't know what he was doing, but if that was him, then Katie and her uncles and her daddy got some explaining to do.
Leaves the mates from school, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies and then just conveniently washes ashore. Somebody just left him out in the water. Does that make sense to you?
Hell to the no. No, girl, it don't make no sense.
You know, being a person that goes to this island and several other areas that you can only get to by boat. We have some restaurants and bars in Louisiana that you can only get to by boat, which means you have to hitch a ride with somebody on a boat or that has a boat to get there, which a lot of things could go wrong in that scenario. But as far as what we believe, I believe that Nolan went out there with a group of friends. They were friendly, obviously so, because he was even out there. I mean, you got to understand, to go to an island, you have to have a boat, which means you have to have friends, which you have to have people that kind of like you to even bring you out there. So when Nolan got out there, the group of guys he was with, you know, they decided to come in a little bit earlier. They were having some engine trouble on their boat, which is not uncommon. Happens a lot. Nolan, for whatever reason, decided to stay on the island, which is not uncommon. He could have, you know, had this girl he was talking to. He could have just, for whatever reason, decided to stay. Not uncommon. That doesn't give us any reason to think.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
The issue is, when he stayed on the island, he had to hitch a ride back in with somebody. And there's where the issue becomes. Who did he hitch a ride back in exactly?
There you go.
How were these people connected to him? How did they know him? And it's not uncommon for you not to know somebody at all and just say, hey, I need to ride back in. And they say, yeah, come on, get in the boat with us. So if I say, hey, Nancy, come on, get in the boat with us, that means at that point, we're responsible for you.
But Todd, here's my issue. Again, I agree with what you said, but the critical moment is somebody had to leave him there alone for the rest of the scenario that you're describing to unfold. He had to
Let me just say something right now. That might, and I ain't trying to get on a racial tip, but that might work well for a white boy. For you to stay behind and think that you can catch a boat with somebody else who was probably white. True that. There was not a whole lot of black people there. A black man can't even hardly catch a cab. If you wave their asses down, they'll drive right past you. So for you to sit here and tell me that he thought he was going to hitch a ride later with somebody else. Save the drama for your mama. I don't believe it. There you go. Me neither.
And Todd, and I'm going to bring in the rest of the panel. I want you to hear this. That is from Anna Moore on Snapchat, and you have to listen very intently to hear what she claims is being said.
All right, guys. That's it. Guys, this is so sad what happened to this young boy. But, guys, will we get the bones back from the Mississippi autopsy? When we get the bones back from his throat, and they fly him out to DC. Maybe we'll have more information on what happened to Nolan. Okay, guys, I'll leave the phone line open for a couple of more minutes, and then after that, guys, I'm gonna shut this down. Guys, there is the phone number, 682-812-9713. This is sad, senseless. This didn't have to happen. And the family also said in the several press conferences that they had that they haven't even had time to grieve. This whole thing is crazy. And guys, I'm gonna say this one more time. I've said this before, and Ben Crump done said it. You cannot tell me if the tables was on if the hands was on the upside. If this had been one white boy and three black guys, and they allegedly, possibility they had unalived the white guys, we would have had an arrest by now. You know, it's really, really sad, but that's just how it goes. Hold on, guys, we got a caller. Caller, this is Kelly from Why I Killed You TV. Who's calling?
Wait, this Brandy, Miss Kelly. It was two more things I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Did y'all find out who the Russian roulette boy was that Crump mentioned was playing Russian roulette?
Yeah.
And nobody. Who is that?
You know what? I didn't find out who that was, but I heard about the Russian roulette and somebody saying that everybody should have had gunpowder on their hand.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. No, I didn't
find. Then the boy in the boy in Covington, around the time when Nolan, remember, he went out with his friends and drowned.
Exactly.
It was a little boy from Covington. His family better get an investigation too, because this is just too much.
You ain't kidding. And why is it all drownings? I don't get it. I mean, yeah. Let's just call a thing a thing. I don't like going in the water. When you go on vacation, do you get in the water? I don't get in the water.
I never do. I let my children go.
Oh, well, you a kid. Everybody gets in the water. But when you become an adult,
I let my kids get. I don't get in the water. I let my children go.
I'm going on vacation next month to a place where there's a bunch of water, and I ain't getting in. I have no plans on getting in no water.
I never get in the water.
Yeah, I look at it, and I look at other people jumping off in the water. But we as black people, we don't do water stuff.
No, now come on. There's too many times like drownings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just thinking, it was the 250-year anniversary of supposedly the slaves got freed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know history like that. I ain't getting into all that. But that's what 4th of July marks.
Mm-hmm.
And all these drownings come about, it's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Well, okay. I appreciate you getting on here.
All right. You have a good night.
All right. You too. All right, guys. There you have it. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see y'all soon.